I'm gonna just reflect and think. Not enough people do that in general. I think especially in McCombs, I'm gonna find this out. Especially in McCombs, I think a lot of people are, go-getter personality types, type 3 achievers in their Enneagram, which basically means they care a lot about what other people think of them and constantly feel like they need to work. But there's a lot of value in slowing down that a lot of people don't realize, at least at this age. I think when you get older, you do. Only reason I know is because, I don't know, sometimes it feels like I've lived more lifetimes. Just because I've done a lot throughout the years, and so I've learned a lot more lessons. And yeah, it's worthwhile to just slow down. Also, the other day, I was having a conversation with a friend about status games. I know, the most interesting topic of all time, honestly. And both of us don't really like them. Pretty disillusioned with them. One of the main reasons I wanted to get into Harvard was because I felt like it would give me, it was what I needed to, be president. And I felt like without that stamp of elite approval, that I wouldn't be able to, or I wasn't worthy of it. Weird mind beliefs. She's really smart, and she was talking to me about how she had people try to push her towards, she'd want to get into all these top schools or whatnot, but she'd always ask, why? And there wasn't really a reason behind it. It was just, oh, you should, and you'll be set. And the deeper question, why, though? Why does this matter so much? Was never really answered. And I'm jumping all over the place, but people overweight the material world. The thing is, it's important to survive, to have money, but when there's an excess of it, people get all weird, because then they start relating that to their worth, and that gets really tricky. Anyways, I just don't need to worry about anything in life. Just do the work that you want to do if you have a goal. But should you worry about it? I mean, first you also have to ask, will worrying even help you? Because, at least for me, worrying only stresses me out and makes me less productive. So I'm in a great place where I'm in college. I'm not stressed out at all. I'm following my passions and exploring. And it's great. Literally just living my best life. And so, objectively, if people looked at my calendar, they'd probably say, yeah, you're working pretty hard. Or, not even looking at my calendar. If they look at the outcomes that are being produced right now, I'm more successful than I've ever been. I'm also less stressed than I've ever been. It's really great. At least for me, the two things go hand in hand. The healthier, happier I am, the overall better I am. And so, I used to have this misperception that, hustle culture, you need to work all the time. it was terrible for me. And in the end, like, I didn't get into my dream school. And that is actually the biggest blessing in disguise. Because now I actually think I'm even more capable than I've ever thought. And I don't need a school to have to validate my self-worth. And in fact, I had the craziest moment where I was talking with a friend and she told me two things. She said, one, I'm really, really proud of you and everything you've done, like who you are, and what you've overcome. And two, she said, I know you're gonna do great things. And actually, I didn't feel anything about the second, but the first, it melted my heart. And so I realized that I've really started, I'm almost completely detached from outcomes now. And I genuinely mean that, which is crazy because this is not who I was. 2 years ago, I was completely the opposite. My self-worth was tied to those outcomes and being the absolute best ever. Now I just have fun. And I think, it's just better. I feel like people don't even realize how good life can be if you just live it. You're gonna do the work, but without stress. Like, that is possible. Genuinely. I have done it, and I'm doing it. Yeah. If you're younger and you're watching this, I want you to think about what you want to make out of life, because you won't be on this earth forever. And that's a reality that, I mean, it's not going to really feel real for a long time. But eventually, we all die. So, ask yourself this. Do you want to be the best version of yourself? The answer is probably yeah. But listening to what other people think is the best version of you is not going to get you there. So think for yourself. Think for yourself, but also make sure that you think highly of yourself and that you don't have to have lofty goals or ambitions. If you do, make sure they're not coming from a place of lack. As in, oh, I have to do this or else that reflects me not being worthy. You're setting yourself up to just try to prove something that you don't need to prove. That you shouldn't need to prove. And achieving that thing will never fix you feeling unworthy. So figure out, what is it exactly that you want? And just observe yourself, your emotions, and get really connected. It's not easy. Some people journal, some people meditate. At the end of the day, it's all just observation. Meditating is observing your breath, feeling your feelings, and knowing and acceptance. Journaling is just tracking, this is how I felt on this day. If you're not observing yourself, then you are living an unintentional life, which means, well, okay, I don't want to go that far, but if you're not observing yourself, you're not aware of what's going on with you. And you could still be observing yourself without meditating, journaling. You just need to make sure that you're highly self-aware. And chances are, if you're watching this saying, oh yeah, I'm self-aware, you're not as self-aware. Now, that's true for 90% of the people watching. There's going to be some exceptions who are actually more self-aware. But also realize, it's not a binary. Oh, I'm self-aware or I'm not. You can always get better at it. Like, I am now realizing just how much I don't know about myself. And I think that compared to a lot of people, I know a whole lot more about myself than another person might ever know about themselves. There's so much more to learn. And it never ends. So, continue to ask yourself, how can I understand and be more self-aware? How can I understand myself more? And be okay with being wrong. Because if you're not okay with ever being wrong, you'll never grow. And you'll never actually be right when it matters. Well, I guess you could. But probably just simply better to be more observant. I think it's time to end here. But just slow down. Think. Why are you doing the things you're doing? Are you driving yourself up a wall due to anxiety, unworthiness? Maybe what you really need isn't to achieve. It's to allow yourself to feel worthy even without having achieved. And then go about doing whatever you want to do out of a place of, this is fun. I want to do this, rather than, if I don't do this, I'm gonna cry or feel really bad about myself. Toodles.